Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing all right so far. Today, it's pretty much the weekend now, isn't it? We've all broke up for the bank holiday. Leeds United have got a massive game on Sunday against Crystal Palace. Tonight is the return of Opposition Focus, where shortly I will be joined by Rich from the Eagle Eyed Football YouTube channel, a really good Crystal Palace YouTube channel. The link for their channel will be in the description down below. Obviously, just before we cross over to Rich, I'll be giving my overall thoughts on Crystal Palace this season as well. But just before we do, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new as well, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below as always. And as I say, go check out the Eagle Eyed Football YouTube channel. The link for that will be in the description. So then, Crystal Palace. Palace for me are always a team that kind of always float around mid-table. They don't really challenge for Europe, but they're never really in a relegation battle. Um, and they always survive. They're always comfortable by around this point. This season's gone a little bit differently for them, though. I think obviously from 12th downwards, everyone is in that relegation battle at the minute. It's unprecedented in the Premier League, and I think that very poor run that Patrick Vieira found himself on that got him sacked was, a big factor as to why Crystal Palace find themselves in this situation. I do think they've got a good squad. They have got some players that I would love at Leeds. He annoys me, but Wilf Zaha is an amazing player. Obviously, he will be out for this game, which is a huge bonus because I do sincerely think that he'd have given Luke Ayling a very, very tough afternoon. There's Michael Elise, there's Eze, there's Guehi and Anderson at the back, who are a really good centre back partnership. There's Mateta, Ayew, Edouard. They have got firepower that can affect us. However, I do believe that Wilf Zaha is their main focal point. He's like the Sinistera or the Wilfred Gnonto of Leeds, where a lot of our play will go through him. Sorry, a lot of Palace's play will go through him. And him being out will be a huge blow for them. Yes, people will say, Eze's a good player, Ayew's a good player. Yeah, they are. But I think they're a lot better when they have Wilf Zaha with them to link up with and to create assists for him, to have assists from him for their goals, maybe. I don't know. Um, but when they sacked Vieira, I remember thinking this will either go really well for Leeds or it'll go really badly. And some of the names they were getting linked with Jesse Marsh. I was thinking, yep, please go and get Jesse Marsh because your form will dip even more. Um, but then they went back in time and appointed Roy Hodgson, the old age pensioner. And I must admit, I had a laugh to myself when I saw that he'd actually, it shows the character of him really, similar to Lampard, what Lampard's done. Obviously, we found out, haven't we, today that Lampard is going back to Chelsea for the rest of the season. It's like, it shows the mentality of these managers that these are clubs who, to be fair, I don't think Hodgson was sacked. I think he just chose to leave. But either way, they've gone back in time and appointed someone where the football wasn't great towards the end of his time at Crystal Palace, and Lampard's not a good manager, and he's gone back to Chelsea still. But anyway, I was expecting a Leicester victory against them last week, but obviously Palace managed to get the late winner in the 94th minute. Leicester are awful at the minute. I know Leicester beat us earlier on in season, but that was under Jesse Marsh, in fairness. And I just think if you've got to wait till 94th minute to beat Leicester, I know Villa left it late, but I don't know. I just see that as quite poor, and I must admit I am quietly confident going into this game. I, I I feel like I'm saying that it's just Zaha FC, but a lot of the time it is, in my opinion. I think, like I say, all their play goes through Zaha. Um, and without him on the pitch, I think they're a completely different team. I think they've got players that we can definitely get at, the likes of Klein, Ward, is it Mitchell at the back? Out wide, I think we can really exploit them. They've got a good centre back pairing of Mark Guehi and is it Joachim Anderson? But Look, I obviously, spoiler alert, because I will be doing a preview for it on Saturday, but I do think we'll win this game. I do. I think we'll just have a little bit too much. But I don't think Palace will go down. I think they've got enough players in their ranks to get them over the line. There are definitely three worst teams in this league. As I've said, I think Bournemouth, Forest, and Southampton will be the three that go. I know there'll be plenty of twists and turns, but I think the bottom three will be that come the end of the season. So yeah, obviously, that's my just brief thoughts on Crystal Palace so far. So we'll hand over to Rich from the Eagle Eyed YouTube channel in just a minute. But just before I go, guys, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And we'll hand over to Rich from the Eagle Eyed YouTube channel. Cheers.
So, big game, massive game this weekend on Sunday. Way to Leeds, and you know what? I'm going to give my Palace perspective. Don't expect it to be an easy game whatsoever. At time of recording, I did this the day after Leeds beating Nottingham Forest 2-1. I made sure to watch that game, obviously, to see from a Palace perspective how we can navigate this game, because Leeds at Elland Road, I don't think we've beaten them in a very long time, to be honest. So you know it's definitely going to be a difficult task. It made even more so difficult with both sides, obviously just fighting for survival, and within the running of fixtures to the end of the season, a lot of the teams from us down are playing against each other as well, so it makes it even harder. But we've obviously lost Patrick Vieira. We brought in Roy Hodgson, who had his first game against Leicester, and it was crazy to see the attacking football that was being played. Um, no one expected it. Normally, Royson's kind of like known for being a defensive-minded manager, to play counter-attacking football. Um, but I guess he has a better squad to work with this time around. So it was nice to see a change of intensity, and I think that was the one thing that was lacking on the Vieira. The players weren't running. We had the lowest running rate and stuff, which is terrible. Like in the Premier League, you can't hide. You'll get found out. So it was just very very refreshing to see that the players were all fighting and running for each other. 31 shots on goal throughout the game. It was mad. Never would have expected that, like I said, from a Roy Hodgson side. Um, and players' confidence seemed to be up as well, which seemed to be the biggest factor. Rice seems to come in. I think he's come in and he's obviously instilled confidence and belief to the players. You know, just putting a smile back on their faces. That was evident with Eze's performance on Saturday. You know, he was just oozing confidence and such. And yeah, you know what? It's all about continuing that. Now, within this run, I feel like we need to ensure that our home games, we're winning those. But we need to make sure we're picking points on the road. And like I said, this is not going to be an easy task whatsoever. Um, Leeds, like I said, watched them against Forest, and Forest, even though Forest took the lead, no pun intended. Um, like Leeds, their press was crazy, um, and their overloads as well. Ayling and Firpo did their jobs getting forward as well, which created space for the wingers, Harrison and Sinistera. Obviously, both scoring as well, which helped their cause. And you know, something that we need to be aware of. You know that threat from the width, from the wide areas and such. Bamford, I know he may not necessarily get in a lot of goals, but what he does off the ball and stuff, it allows the wingers to get the space and to thrive. You know, so we need to make sure we're defensively switched on. It's very frustrating that Nonto was on the bench. It was always against us that players seem to come back from like suspensions or injuries. So frustrating, but Nonto's been superb. You know, a great acquisition, and I know Tarek Mitchell defensively has been a bit better as of late. Ward and Klein at right back, whether it's Sinistera or Nonto's going to have a tough time, you know. And like if we can shut down Leeds from their wide areas, then we give ourselves a chance. We give ourselves a chance. Going forward, I feel like we will need to exploit the fullbacks, Ayling and Firpo. I think defensively are not as good. I think they both do their better work going forward, to be honest. Um, Obviously, a massive problem, a massive hindrance to our side is obviously Wolf picked up the injury. Reports are saying that it'll be about 3 weeks or so, which is a lot sooner than we thought, because it did look a bad one. But him against Ayling would have been a really, really kind of. I feel like we would have got like some joy down that left hand side. So it'll be interesting to see who goes on the left, whether it's Eze, Schlupp, Ayu, So um, hopefully they can obviously run at Ayling and cause him a few problems. But yeah, like what else? The midfield battle will be very interesting. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but Tyler Adams is injured. But there's still quality in there with obviously McKennie and Rocker. So I think that's going to be the key. That for us, we need to make sure we win the midfield battle to enable us to pass the ball out wide to whether it's like I said, Ayu, Ebbs, or Schlupp down the left hand side, and then obviously Michael Elisa down the right hand side, and then really just drive at the fullbacks, and exploit them in behind and such. I think that's where we're going to get our joy. And then once we do that, what we've got to do is similar to what we did to Leicester: is have 2, 3, 4 bodies in the opposition area, but also be mindful of the speed of Leeds on the break, and I'm sure they'll be thinking the same thing on their part. Just being mindful of us on the break as well. I'm going to predict a draw. I'm not saying that with the utmost of confidence, to be honest. Like I said, Leeds at Elland Road, tough place to go. We haven't had much joy over the last couple of years. Even last year was a little bit unfortunate with the Gay handball at the last minute, but Leeds were good in that game too as well, and they maybe have. I think they would have. They edged it last season as well. So we're gonna have to work hard, very very hard. Obviously Leeds had the midweek game, but I guess because it's a Sunday, it may not affect them as much. We've had a week of preparation, so hopefully tactically we've kind of noticed Leeds' strengths and stuff, and found a way to obviously nullify it. It would be good to see Sambi Lokonga in this game, or Will Hughes. I know Jeffrey Schlupp played well against Leicester, but I think he might, with the runners that Leeds have, it might be a bit more of a difficult task for him playing in the middle of the park. So here's the lineup I would go for. I'm not necessarily saying this will happen, but this is what I'll go for. I will go for Vicente Gaeta in goal. I'll actually go Klein right back, just for a bit more pace, obviously against the Leeds wingers, because they've got some quality wingers. Centre backs of Anderson and Gay, left back Mitchell. I initially said do 4-4-2, but I think we might need to just do 4-2-3-1 just to match Leeds. So I'll go Doucouré and Lokonga for me personally. Eze in the 10. Olise right, Edward in the middle up front. On the left is tough. I might actually go Jeffrey Schlupp as a left winger. Just the extra bit of legs, I guess. But and he can cross the ball in directly off his left foot as well. So yeah, that would be my starting 11. So yeah, like I said, very very important game at Elland Road. Both teams will be hoping to obviously capitalise on their recent wins and just obviously get further away from that drop zone and such. And obviously wish Leeds and the fans all the best for the rest of the season. Big up to Chatting Leeds for allowing me to share my thoughts on the game. And apart from that, all I can say is up the Palace.